Creaky beef.
Hi guys, today we're going to go around my friend Abbas's E36 M3 3.2 Evo, finishing Estrol Blue. It's a beautiful car, perfect for the weather that we're having at the minute. So we'll just go around the outside. This is, like I said, an Evo, but it's an early edition. So it's got the pre-facelift grills on the P-Reg. Going around the side, it's also got the pre-facelift indicators. Like I said, it is an early model, but it's in exceptional condition. Brilliant paintwork. No rust, no scratches, nothing like that. It's all original on the outside. Original in quotes, because we'll get onto that. It's had a few choice modifications. As you can see though, it's beautiful. It's got the staggered wheels, although it is running a 225 at the rear, the same size as the front. It does change the handling. It actually makes it a little bit sharper, I found, having a square setup on these. Hasn't been messed around with the lights as well. They're all factory original, no angels. The lens is still in there. So while it's been at Gs.autoworks, it's had the front discs and rear discs with refurb calipers all around and new pads. It had the incorrect front disc on it. Now it's got the correct Evo floating discs. Again, all done by Gs.autoworks with the calipers refurbished by Big Red. Done an excellent job, along with the carriers painted in the same colour. See at the back there, nice fresh calipers, pads and discs. If I can get underneath the car with the camera smoothly, don't know if you can see it, but it's got a anti-roll bar kit as well, stiffened anti-roll bar kit. It's also been lowered on the B12 kit, so it rides really nice and it sits really nice. The B12 kit is awesome. If you're not into messing around with coilovers, setting it up, setting the rake, the preload and all that, the dampening, then honestly go for the B12 on any car and you can't go wrong. Next we'll open the bonnet and run through some of the choice mods that he's fitted. So under the bonnet, Gs.autoworks got the cam cover with a new cam cover gasket done, so that's been powder coated, and then it's had the BMW M Power machine polished, so it makes a huge difference. It looks really tidy underneath, how it came from the factory. Obviously it didn't come from the factory with the strut brace, but that's a nice addition to stiffen up the handling along with the B12 kit. Also, Abbas was complaining that the rack didn't feel right, and this car previously had a purple tag rack fitted, but it had been done by someone else at a different garage, and it was actually a refurbished rack. And they're not the best. Most companies can't get the racks refurbished correctly on these BM racks, so you're better off going with a good used purple tag rack. So Gs.autoworks put in a new rack on it, got the car fully aligned, and also it was making like a squeak and a clunk type of noise. So if you can see down there, it's had just there a new U-joint put in, and that makes a world of difference. It's had a new genuine BMW U-joint, and it's also had the top bearing done at the steering column, so there's no play in it, and it turns really nice. This is one of the best turning from BMWs I've driven. It's really nice and smooth because obviously everything's fresh with the new rack, new U-joint, new bearing. So that's really it from under here. Like I said, Abbas has left it pretty much original, which is the best way considering the value of these cars are going up and up and up. It hasn't had an induction kit, nothing like that. It's just all factory original. So yeah, we'll go onto the inside of the car and we'll take it for a spin. So the inside of this specific M3 is grey dashboard, grey door cards with the light silver leather interior. Same setup in my personal 328i, and I think as time's gone on, it's got better and better. This interior, it looks retro and modern at the same time, if that makes sense. The only addition that Abbas has done is a aftermarket head unit, just bring it up to date a little bit. I love the fact that the M3s come with special clocks as well, so obviously you've got the oil temperature and the water temperature in there, which is key when you're driving any M car, is that you make sure the car's up to temperature before you start really putting your foot down, because obviously that big engine, high revving, you don't want to upset the bearings. Really, really clean example. I mean, that's it from the outside and the inside. What we'll do, we'll take it for a spin now so I can give you my feedback on the car. So one of the requests from Abbas to Gs.autoworks was to get some more noise out of the car. He wanted to keep it looking original, so he didn't want an aftermarket back box. So what Gs.autoworks did is actually cut the back box open, removed the OEM baffle and did some witchcraft, and it sounds phenomenal now. Under load, it really sings, but it's not a droney exhaust. I've had a previous Scorpion on my old 328, and while it was a wicked exhaust, it did sometimes drone, where this sounds perfect. Doesn't get on your nerves, but when you really put your foot down, it opens up and it sings. So what we'll do now, we'll start it up and give it some revs. As you can hear, it sounds completely different to a normal M3. It's really been woken up. So another reason why Abbas brought the car down to Gs.autoworks to go through and sort any issues out is the roof. So for the longest time, the roof wasn't working on this car. It had a new roof put on, but the actual roof wouldn't go down. So if I show you now, it's all fully functioning. It's half auto, half manual. We'll get the roof up because obviously we don't want to go for a drive with all the wind noise. You won't be able to hear me. As you can see, it's smooth operating. A lot of people turn these cars away now, these older E36s, even E46s, if they've got roof problems. Most mechanics don't want to touch them these days because they don't know what they're doing with them, to be honest. There you go, so that's there, so we just pull the rest of it down, lock it into place, so that's all sorted now, and it makes a world of a difference. There's no point having a convertible if you can't get the roof down, so that's all sorted. It makes a world of difference. What we'll do now, we'll get the windows up. So you've got on the driver's side, you've got a middle switch that can have to put all four windows up. Like I said, it's an early 3.2, so it doesn't have AC. So excuse me if I'm sweating, guys. Gs.autoworks did do a lot of work on this car, and like I said, I've touched upon most of it. What I'll do is I'll put a full description in the description box below, exactly what this car's got and what Gs.autoworks did to it while it was with us. But yeah, just driving a M3 from E36, E46, it's a special occasion. It's straight six, no turbos, you have to do the work, no traction control, you really have to rev it out. Even compared to my 328i, that's got an M50 and a remap, and that pulls itself really nice. But these M3s, because they're 3.2 double Vanos, really got to rev it out. But that's the whole fun of it, isn't it? I mean, you don't have a car like this just to put around in it. You can put around in it. It's a lot smoother driving, in my opinion, than a 3 litre. The double Vanos does give you a nice spread of torque, but you can cruise around in it. But yeah, it is nice to put your foot down in this. I won't be going mad today because, like I said, it's my friend Abbas's car, and the value of these things are crazy. I remember in like 2013, one of my good friends, Sati, he sold his for about 2,750, same car as this. I think it was a facelift actually. Now these cars are fetching anywhere from 8,000 all the way up to 20 grand, depending on the condition and everything, how they've been treated and whatnot. This particular one, like I said, is in phenomenal condition now. Gs.autoworks has gone through it. It's got no issues. That's one good thing about the garage, is that he goes through everything on these cars and lets the owner know what it definitely needs, and goes above and beyond trying to find out the niggly faults that most garages overlook or don't even know how to fix it on these cars. Because you take this BMW to a garage these days, a normal BMW garage, a lot of the mechanics are younger than this car, so they don't know what to do with them. There's not very many old school technicians left in the new BM dealers, so bringing it to a specialist like Gs.autoworks to go through it, make sure everything's tip top, is crucial. I mean, like I said, the exhaust doesn't really drone at all. I'm sitting at 30 miles an hour, 1500 RPM in 4th gear, can't really hear it, which is brilliant. Like I said, some exhausts really drone and they really get on your nerves, but this is perfect. And like I said, it looks original from the outside. So the weld marks are on the top of the back box, so you can't see anything. And what Gs.autoworks also did is they polished the bottom of the belly, so it looks really smart under there. So when you look at it from the back at night time with your lights on, or even in the daytime, it really stands out, the belly of the box. It is on B12 suspension, like I said previously, with the I-back anti-roll bars, and it for a convertible it handles wicked. It's really planted, really rigid, but it's not too rigid to the extent that it's back braking. Some cars on coilovers, depending on how they've been set up, are too much. This B12 kit, they've nailed it. This is the Pro, I believe, so it's not the Sport line spring, so it sits like a ever so slightly lower than a normal M3, but nothing scraping on the floor or anything like that. So you can get 4 people in it and you're not going to be worried about the bottom of it scraping. I just love the sound of it. I mean, if I had this, I wouldn't even drive it that hard. I mean, I would obviously on a clear day, on a Sunday when there's no moron drivers about, like your Sunday drivers, I'll take it out early morning or late evening. But just cruising around, the noise of it, I mean, the individual throttle bodies, something else. I mean, after the E36, BMW went to the V8, and then after that they went to turbo, and I think it just takes away a bit of the M edge. I mean, I love naturally aspirated engines. Don't get me wrong, I love your M3s and M4s, but there's something about driving an old school manual M car, or even an E36. They're a special car. So we're not going to go too crazy, but we'll see what the double Bonnet is like. The exhaust from the inside. That's only to about 5,500. I don't want to take. Starting first, turn the hazards off. The way it gets to the national speed limit is really quick. Even in 2020, it's really quick. It's more, you feel it a lot more compared to these new cars. I used to have an S3, and that used to demolish speed limits like anything, but this is so much more engaging, so much more fun. Yeah, obviously newer cars will probably take it, like your new turbo stuff, but if you want fun and enjoyment, a well sorted E36 M3, whether it's a 3 litre, 3.2 or even a 328, put a little bit of maintenance in it with someone like Gs.autoworks, do some choice modifications, work with Gs.autoworks, and we can get your car driving as crisp as this. I mean, I'm going down a a rough road, let's say, and it's so smooth. I mean, I've got a 320 CD that I drive as a daily, and that's on Satch suspension, new Satch suspension. It still doesn't drive like this. It's just something about the way these drive. It's brilliant. And then yeah, it's back to Abbas. I mean, enjoy this car, Abbas. You're not going to lose any money on it. This car's, it's either going to stick at the value that it's at now, or it's going to continue to climb. And if you own one of these cars, look after it, treat it well, service it, do the maintenance on it, and you won't lose any money, and you can have all the fun in it. You can take it down south of France, take it to Yorkshire Moors, Scotland, do the North Coast 500, put all your family in it. My battery actually died, so what I was meant to say is give us a follow below, like the video if you can please, follow us on Instagram, Gs.autoworks. If you've got any questions, queries, anything like that, put them below in the comments box or on Gs.autoworks' Instagram. Any advice, anything you need, just give us a shout. So yeah, stay tuned for the next video. It'll probably be on an E36 330D, so you'll probably enjoy that one as well. Cheers, bye.